Hey y'all, this is the episode 1 of Counter Conversations in Mama Whitten's kitchen. The reason that we named it Counter Conversations is that's where a lot of our founding conversations started. When we started our marriage, we had a lot of late night conversations just sitting on the kitchen counter, as organic as it comes. And that's why we have decided to share everything that we're going to share with you just right from the kitchen. So you want to get started?
Sure.
Okay. This is my husband, Richard.
Hey, guys.
We have been married for almost 22 years. This September. I count, but he counts too.
Just getting over 21 was enough.
We have 4 children, but we have them in a little bit of a unique fashion. We have 2 boys that are 21 and 19. We were very young when we started our family, and we have 2 girls that are 5 and 3. And we've done things a little differently the second time around, and there's a reason for that. Neither one has been perfect, but we've learned a lot along the way, and we wanted to share some of the things that we've learned. Daddy, you want to say anything about our family dynamic?
I guess I necessarily can't say anything. I'm responsible for helping with 4 of them. That's all I know. Maybe the raising. I think that's a cool thing when you start this kind of conversation after many, many years, and not to be disparaging or insulting to younger people that are trying. Like, I'm big on honor, wisdom, the previous generation, even if they've done right or wrong. Because, once you've been through what we've been through, or the life that you've done, and kids that you've been, like our counselor that did our pre-marriage counseling, was probably the most wise person I would think counseling. I wish more people did it. Like, he set us down, and then like halfway through, he's like, "All right, guys, we're done." And we're like, "Well, there's half a book to go. Like, what are we gonna do?" And he was like, "Let me explain something." He's like, "Y'all love each other, and this is so wonderful, and all these things. You're not gonna listen to anything else." He's like, "You haven't had your first argument. You haven't had your first financial problem. You hadn't had your first, like, how we're raising this child issue come up. So you can get all the advice and read all the books and think you're an expert at like 22, 23, 24, 25 years old."
However old you are when you start.
Yeah, however old you start. And it's really a facade. It's a fake. Like, without experience and good, solid family around you. Like we had, just the aunts, the uncles, and wisdom. And I think that's why this was encouraged. We had no idea where to start. We asked your business mentor to ask a question, like, to get us started. So we're like, okay, so this is new for everybody. And she's the pretty one. Actually, I got more light on me.
I should move to your side.
I got the pretty shirt. I do.
So basically, the reason that we do the things that we do in Mama Whitten's kitchen is because we were both raised so family-oriented, and we see the value in that, and we see where that's missing in today's culture in a lot of ways. And so we actually have found ourselves bridging a little bit of a gap, having small children, but being as educated and aged in marriage as we are. It was so fun to go into having our 4th child and tell our nurses we had our 18th wedding anniversary the week before. And so that gets a little bit different reaction in the hospital. So anyway,
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
We've done things.
And then you have girls, and you end up with cups that are decorative with stickers, and that didn't exist. Yeah. 19 and 21 years ago.
Yeah, almost 22 years ago.
And now little girls want to be everywhere you are. They want to hear everything. They know everything, whether they know anything. And the emotions are
on high alert.
It's just...
There's no other way to say it. Our emotions from our girls are always on high alert. So we've been raising a family for a very long time. We were both raised on the same street as our cousins and our aunts and uncles. So family is where the heart is.
And to clarify that, separately.
We're
not that kind of weird relative family.
30 minutes away from each other.
Hey, look, another street. That's my cousin Lauren. We just kind of did. No, we did. We branched out. It was she was in a different part of the Upstate.
Extended family.
Oh no, that happens. We get it.
Different streets, different sides of the county.
Same family orientation, definitely different counties.
Both raised in church. Both raised by very active spiritual families. And so basically, the reason that we do what we do in Mama Whitten's kitchen is because family is the root of, I think, the hope for our next coming generations. And the conversations that you have around the family table are what give your children the foundation to move forward in a world that's going to challenge them in some ways that maybe we weren't challenged as kids. So our episode 1 question from Mark Casto, my business mentor, is this: how important is a home-cooked meal to the culture of a family? That's
See,
the
now I
Mark
can't
Casto
even.
question.
There you go. I can't even answer that question. Thanks, Mark.
He didn't want to know what the question
I'll
was
sit in
before we
silence.
started.
Disappointed in you. I'm disappointed.
You
in you.
so know
If
the
you're watching.
answer to this.
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
start, and then you can piggyback because you always have something to
All right.
say. So for me,
As you do it, I'm gonna read it again because I was expecting like this deep intellectual conversation. It was like,
this is
how
gonna
important
be
is a home cooked meal? Oh,
Oh,
All
well,
right.
because it's what we do, and it's actually very simple, and that's the point.
okay. Well, now I'm seeing to the culture of a
The
family.
culture of a family. So I think that's a little bit to unpack. The home cooked meal, I feel like, is the simple part. It's because of the intentionality.
I would say that, but I think this is a 2-part question that you can answer 2 different ways.
I agree.
Like he's saying to the culture of a family.
Mm-hmm.
So a meal around the table might not be home cooked.
Yeah.
But the culture of a home cooked meal is different than a bought meal.
It is.
Because when you do a home cooked meal, if you've raised your kids with some respect, they look and see the honor, or you let them participate, or you let them help, or you let them set a table, or I don't know, like, I think the difference that right there of culture and just sitting down, even over the last 16, 17, we've not failed at that, but life is just like, sometimes we're eating TV trays, watching movies more nights a week than we want instead of around the dinner table.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that's life, and sometimes that's okay.
Yeah. I think it's whatever your season looks like, as long as you're gathered.
Yeah.
The point is intentionally being
culturally as a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think...
So it could be McDonald's
it
after
could be.
church
And
at
it
10
has
o'clock
been.
because everything's closed.
And it has been. Or I think for me, the home-cooked portion is the intentionality. I think it sets
Being
a
at home.
framework.
I think the culture of, I think that question would also be why you're at home.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to go out in public.
And
Well,
kind
then-
of have distraction.
You're distracted. You know, we want to talk with people or each other and realize kids are 3 and 5. And we realize when we were little, I would spank them into submission and be like, look, you're just going to sit here and be quiet. And then you get mature
Yeah.
and you realize you took this child out to eat. You took this child
Out of their element.
out of an element. And yes, they should be able to learn respect and honor and to be quiet and, hey, let's hush. But in the same sense, you took them out to eat. So for us, sometimes it's saying, oh,
Yeah.
the culture is don't go out and be distracted while we're trying and you are trying to get people to say, hey, if you're not distracted by the outside, let's come back to the culture of family.
Yes.
And I think that's what is why you're doing is just family's important.
It's so important.
Like people knock it and they move away. We understand that their circumstances were not, but it's a big deal to teach your family
Yeah.
in the home, ask the questions. Like you want your kids to fail in your home.
Yes.
You don't want your kids to fail outside your home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, as a culture right now, like it was like, well, no one can fail. You can do anything. Now, actually, you can, but you're going to fail. You need a culture of family
Yeah.
to be able to have these conversations.
You need to fail safely.
Yeah, and I would say that this is not something that was talked about.
Right.
With
For sure.
us, it was understood, but not discussed. And I think we'll do it right now is to understand before this, if anything's said or disparaging towards parents
Mm-hmm.
or grandparents or, I mean, I think of anybody that honors their families as much than us.
Right.
But I think it's also important and mature to say, what did we go, and was there a way to do it better?
Mm-hmm.
But not dishonoring by saying, oh, you did it wrong. That's just so, and that's hurtful as a family that would say
Yes.
that we're about to have like children that can be married and produce children.
Right.
And
Or
for them
just
to,
got engaged
yeah,
this week.
to look at you and say, hey, you did this wrong. was like, it's probably hard to swallow. Nothing we got there yet.
But I think that we've been able to have valuable conversations with our own parents, and they have shifted who they are in a lot of ways since we've been adults, since we got married. In a lot of ways, they have looked at us and said, you know, we may not have done these couple of things right, and not in a so sorry we did this kind of way, but in a we give you grace and we respect the way that you could do it differently, you know, and we say, you know, some of the things we did the first time around with our boys, we're not even doing it the same in our own second set of children.
Oh, no.
So there's grace to change.
Now, that
always.
does understand that is I don't say a big difference of boys and girls.
There is a difference in boys and girls.
But you are going to understand if you're going to allow, there's just a genetic DNA makeup of emotion, and the more I guess we're going to talk spiritual stuff in this.
We will.
My welcome to my brain. Y'all may be like, you need to get him off here and other guests.
Buckle up.
But it's just kind of like, how do I say it being kind?
You do you, baby.
Yeah, you keep talking what you want to talk, and I'll think about how to go back into that. And not to be kind, but like I'm learning now. Verbiage means
everything.
Now this does help that people can hear this, because man, you text somebody something, it's like, oh, I was joking. I didn't mean that anyway. So I don't know. I'm trying to be more mature in how to say things, because I think the goal of all this is to build upon a foundation that was solid.
Yeah.
Take what we've learned and go, oh, wow, this is harder or easier than we thought.
Yeah.
And now let's make a game plan. And I know that was a little bit of rambling, but that was kind of just to keep talking, to let you get to the culture that we're trying to create and fail at miserably sometimes.
Yes, and I think that's the
Brendan
point.
Manning says it like Pops all the time. You got to let your kids see you fail. Now, sometimes our failures have been epically terrible, and those failures you wouldn't wish on anybody.
Yeah.
However, if you allow the Lord to redeem anything,
yes,
it is that important.
And I think the culture that we're trying to create within our family, and it starts at the dinner table, and it starts when you have what you would consider like a family meeting, and the dinner table just makes that perfectly already set up without having some high standard of, oh, we're having a family meeting. It takes down a guard.
Or you let the kid put a big old wad of food in their mouth, and then you hit them with a question where they can't talk back. You're just like, and then you're like, all right, we're going to talk about this now. Now you're going to listen as you're chewing, and then you have it. So, there's the little nuances of parenting that, you learn to be like family dinner. Okay, when are you going to ask that question? Oh, I'm going to wait till he's stuck in his face. Yeah. So it's just kind of like this shock and awe. And that's the fun of parenting, even though it's a good conversation that's got to happen and no one wants to have it.
It's much harder than the kids think to be the parent, I think, sometimes.
Oh, you'll have anxiety sometimes. I'll be like, I need to talk to the boys. And just be like, all right, come on, let's talk. And like, you hear the angst in the room go up and be like, oh no, Dad wants to talk. It's like, maybe I just want to ask about your date. But like, there's this expectation of you don't have deep conversations with your parents unless you're in trouble.
Right, unless something has gone wrong, terribly
You're just working, and I don't know. I think children should be seen and heard. A lot of times we want to hear their voice. We think they should have an opinion. Oh, that's great. They're 5 and 3, and they need to spend more time listening
than talking.
But you do want their perspective, so then you can create that perspective when they say, well, I think we should do this. Well, the reason we don't want the Barbie to sit at the table with us and sit in your spaghetti sauce is because that's more work for me and Dad.
Which is where we are right now.
Yeah, to have to then clean that. But I want it at the table with us because it's part of the family. It's like, actually, it's a toy.
Or this very favorite Barbie has to go to the bathtub. No, that very favorite Barbie, the way she is right now, does not need to go to the bathtub.
Exactly. So that's where the culture of family table allows you to be fun.
Yeah.
Or very like sneak attack, because they got to eat.
Sneak attack.
They got to eat.
They're going to eat.
They got to sit down.
You put that meal on the table, the kids are coming. I think for us, though, we've been able to have deep spiritual conversations without it being seem like, hey, we need to teach you something right now. We've been able to converse with each other at a dinner table, like throwing ideas back and forth, and they listen and learn as we're talking. I think something that's heavy on our minds right now, having a son that just got engaged, is we want to have conversations that we wish we would have had 22 years ago. We want to say, we see you're young and we see some similarities and personality traits, and we want to walk with you through that. And so us already having that conversation, we know at the dinner table those things are going to come up.
Oh, man.
And mom and dad are already thinking about that. And that's just the beauty of parenting. They don't know when it's coming, but boy, will we know.
I mean, I have a Rolodex of things that people don't think about. And you don't think about it in marriage. You don't think, but ask this basic question. I mean, we were raised a little different in the dating aspect. Not that I didn't want anything to do with girls, but it was just, and kind of was like, you be their friends, you be their best friends, but you don't have emotions for them like that until you're ready. Like you just, there's this, you give away your heart, you give away your money, you give away your time.
Yes.
And that I want to ask the questions like we did for like 2.5 hours before we started dating. I was like, well, this is this. But then you want to have the conversation with like them. It's like, hey, which way do they put the toilet paper on? Backwards or forwards? No, this is an epic.
So
we've heard arguments over relatives being like, well, that's not a big deal to us.
That may be a big deal to them, though.
How do you load the dishwasher?
Is it a big deal how you load the dishwasher?
Exactly.
Does it matter?
Do you clean? Do you sweep? Do you vacuum? Oh, yes. To me,
matters.
But funny conversations that we laugh about now.
That we did not laugh about 22 years ago.
Oh, yeah. After like a month or two, it's like, you got to do this, right? What?
So the big conversation that we had 2 months into marriage that we want to have with our kids before it happens is, I had never done laundry. Literally, I maybe had done a load of coin laundry in college out of desperation, and it probably didn't even turn out well. And it probably ended up at mom's house to be redone. So I had never done laundry. I had never cooked a meal. I mean, I had not done a lot of things. Straightening my room, making my bed, that was where my cleanliness lived. So he comes in one night and he goes, we got to talk about something. The laundry stack is taller than you are, and that can't happen.
It literally was.
Just so shattering to me that I did not know what I was doing. And at this point,
to clarify here, before the self-righteous feminists out there knock down the door of you're that
he
kind
does
of man.
laundry.
Look, I clean, I vacuum, I laundry. I'm the clean one in the family. This is not a disrespect. Like if it's like I'm going to clean the kitchen and then Lauren cleans the kitchen. There's a big difference.
We have different goals.
Yeah, we have different goals. So to say I don't do laundry, I didn't do laundry, it was like, okay, we talked. I want to be a homemaker and a wife. And so
we did.
in my mind, I was like, okay, I know what this looks like. So I was like, go out, make money, be prepared, come home. And then it was like, I don't have clean clothes. It's like, babe, this is kind of an important part of the homestead part of cleaning laundry. And it was like, and so.
An aha moment.
Yeah, and it was like, we laugh about it now.
So hard.
But it was one of those moments as an early married man.
Yeah, it was hard.
I mean, to me, it was like, oh no.
Yes, I'm in trouble.
This is not in trouble. But in my back, I was like, this is a basic skill that I never thought I would have to tell another adult, hey, this is happening and it needs. And she's standing right here, and she could say the same thing about me of being kind or being nice about how to say that.
There was a lot of
honey, that was that was not nice on how you asked me to do laundry. I was like, well, I'm sorry, I got to go to work tomorrow. I literally don't have any clean underwear. So, man, these are huge conversations that can be sparked over dinner.
Mm-hmm. And if you have the conversations before you get to the amped up feelings, then they actually end up being a lot more productive conversations. Yeah. They're conversations, not arguments. And they don't have to get amped. And it just really, it gives you an opportunity to lay a foundation of trust between each other. I think it lays a foundation of understanding and really knowing where the other person comes from, because you just spend a little dedicated time talking to each other every day. And it's shocking how many spouses, how many parents don't have a single conversation, like a full-out conversation with their significant other or their child on a daily basis. You know, it could be, we're just so busy in this world, you know, there are days that you may not even do anything but say text real quick as you're passing in the hallway, and it happens. Us, you know, we work together, we work from home, you go out and you work, but your shop is your home base. Even if you're exchanging tools, a lot of times you come back, you eat lunch, or I pack your lunch, and, you know, it's a shorter day, but we're together a lot more than most standard couples.
Oh, yeah. And
And
the
our
fact that we get
kids
along
have
as
been
well
with
that
us.
we do is really shocking.
It's been a work in progress. It's all happened around the dinner table, people. It's all happened, not all of it.
Actually, I would say
Not all of
most
it.
honestly, to maybe even give more clarity to this. Not necessarily the family dinner table. For us, it's just been in the kitchen.
It's been the kitchen as the heart of the home.
Like, even at 1 in the morning, we're like having conversations like, I'm sitting on the counter, you're sitting on the other side of the counter, and we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, it's close enough to kids, but not in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, where it's not that it's intimate and different conversation, it's life conversations. It's like, oh, well, what did you think about this?
Yeah.
But close enough to the kids, but in an environment. It's like our deepest conversations were counters and hot tubs. We don't have a hot tub anymore, so we have counters.
And I wouldn't do this from a hot tub anyway.
Oh, well, yeah.
He would.
That'd
That'd be his podcast.
hot tub conversations.
He could do that.
I have friends over.
You will.
And they're like, you're having a podcast in the hot tub? Yeah. Instead of, I mean, if we can have a
So
talk
if
with
you
tacos,
want a hot tub conversation,
buy me a hot tub.
somebody donate this man a hot tub.
Oh, we're going to have some conversations.
We'll have some conversations. But I really, back to the culture, I think, is the aspect that I really want to hone in on, is a lot of people don't think of their families as having the ability of creating culture. We just are doing life. We just are living. We're just surviving. We're just making it one day at a time. We're busy. You know, the goals are these, and we're going. And they don't think of a culture that they're building in their own home. And if your culture is fast-paced, it's going to feel frenzied in your house. It's going to feel like people are passing in the hallway and it's cold and it's not inviting. It's going to feel like we can't have a conversation here. Those are the kind of people that probably have to go and say, I need to have a conversation in a coffee shop because this doesn't feel like neutral ground. And there's something about having your home to be so sacred. And we learned that. I learned that from grandparents. You know, we could walk in Granny and Pawpaw's house and you feel like you're on sacred ground because of just the weight of glory that lived there. And it just is so true to what home should be when you create a culture of a family who does things together and has the conversations together. And so I feel like the fact that you can create culture, and you are creating culture, you can change the culture with the conversations that happen in the heart of the home. And you have that power when you engage and really are intentional with your family. And I feel like obviously the meals are the given time to us because we all have to have those times of day that are just natural to do those things, to have those hard conversations, to do the stuff that matters, that's going to be in the back of your mind when a kid needs to make a quick decision. Is it going to be the right one or is it going to be the wrong one? We're talking about the decision to, you know, go to a party they shouldn't go to, or go home with somebody they shouldn't go home with, or choose a spouse, or, you know, if you're already in their head, if you've already told them what the Father says about them and who they are, and you really can have guided them that way, they're not going to doubt themselves. They're not going to have to say, I need to go ask my parents. They'll already know. They'll know what you would say. I mean, as parents of an adult or two.
And let's be clear about that. I mean, you're using terminology that is good to us, but maybe new to other people.
Yeah, we need to probably clarify some
but like the
terminology.
Father and his, you know, what they say, but like that's where we are. But most people have no idea, and even at that point, it's like at 40 years old, we're understanding this.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. It's taken us.
it's like now we're
almost
saying something
20
like, "Oh, we've got this together." Like
We
we
did not.
just now are understanding new things.
Yes. Yes.
A new,
And that's the point.
and I don't even say new teachings because they're not. It's teachings that have been neglected.
Yeah.
Or law, family.
The more orthodox.
You know, that's what it makes sense, but I absolutely, in the core of me, hate the term. doing life together.
Oh, I know.
Look, I get it. Oh my God. I want to throw up in my mouth every time I hear that. It's like
We've just been
growing up with family. You
so-
don't do life. You are
live.
just together. It's like, well, I would like to have you over so we can just do some life together. I want you to come over so I can grill some burgers and we can hang out and talk.
Mhm.
Like doing life is such a broad thing. Like I like
Yeah.
specific things. Hey, let's just, and we are doing life together. I get it, but it's so cliche and I can't say that word.
He's censoring himself so
Oh
I
my
don't have to
gosh,
later when I'm
yes.
editing.
Again, people may disagree, but it's like we're having to come up with new versions of being what we're supposed to be doing as humans and parents, and we're trying to put a name on it. It's like, well, let's do life together.
It doesn't have to be it.
You decided to have children and get married. Like that decision of doing life together is over.
It's done.
It's your life now.
This is the
This
real
this
world.
is
Welcome
how
to
it works. Like you're in this together.
Yeah.
And yes, we're doing life together. But man, can we have a less pansy definition of, and just be like, we are living, which everyone do it together,
Yeah.
like normal people did all these years, and now we call it doing life together.
Yeah.
Why do we have to categorize something that's been around for eons?
Yeah.
So people can feel good about the terminology.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a generation coming right now that they have to have terminology.
They have to have a grid. They can't just float.
They
and
can't,
trust.
when I say just be life, and they're like, what do you mean just be? Like everything's on a screen. Everything's on a, what you're told. Everything's on a.
They're almost too informed.
Yeah, and so the culture of
Almost
family
nothing
and
to inform.
kitchen and food is like, we don't want to create a culture, but we do.
Well, yeah.
We want to create a safe space
Mm-hmm.
of family, and if it looks boring to the outside world, but it's good for us, and you're still helping. I don't know. It's strongly and hugely needed.
It is, and it feels like a lot of times
Hugely. That was just my redneck version of
he has
words.
some vocabulary.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll probably put some subtitles and some parentheses as to what he actually means. I speak Richard Whitten.
This is a very good idea. This is good.
But what I was going to say is, and honestly, I'll have to edit this out because I don't remember what I was going to say.
Oh no, no. I don't think you should edit it out because that's parenting. A second ago, we stopped, recorded this thing. iPhone storage
We've
is
had to learn
ridiculous.
iPhone
Oh my
storage
gosh!
3
No, I'm
times.
getting upset. I'm angry. I was like, honey, I told you this. We've had disagreements in the last 15 minutes of just doing this episode. And all of a sudden I was like, well, dadgum, now I've lost my train of thought. So I was just like staring at the wall, and I was like, I have no idea where we are now. And that's why you don't edit that out. Like, this is like, when you make everything cookie cutter and everything edited.
I remember what I was going to say.
Hey, see?
So what I was going to say is, busy is the enemy. That's what I was
There you
going to
go.
say. It
There you
popped
go.
in my head, and then I let him finish the sentence. And just when you are at this stage in life, sometimes you have to say what you need to say in the moment, or it will leave you.
Busy.
Just like walking into a room and not knowing what you got there for. So busy is the enemy, I feel like. It's not any individual in the home doing any one thing right or wrong. It's busy is really seemingly the goal of families. We need to have all these things to do. That kid's got to have a sport. That kid's got to have an instrument. That kid's got to have their activity. They don't have to. Not until they're ready to decide what is their activity do we have to put them in 400 different things. The core of the family should be the family.
Yeah.
And then everything else should happen outside of that when the family time is happening first.
Yeah, every family is different. Every drive is different. And I don't think we want everybody to fit in a box. Like,
I'm definitely not.
you need
This
to be
is
home 5
Starbucks.
days a week, and you need to have
Yeah.
a meal around the table. And it's like, no. But it needs to be prioritized to a little bit of a point to know that your kids knew you didn't throw something together, you took some time. And then they need to understand that this did not just happen.
Yeah, that it took work. That
It
took
did
planning.
take work. And then, like, when they get up and leave, it's like, no, like,
Say thank you.
yeah, say thank you for the meal. Like, help clean up the dishes, help clean up the table, even at a young age. Like, you have to start understanding, like, okay, we enjoyed this together. Now we're going to jointly clean it up together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's lost even on my old kids
Yeah.
and my young kids now. It's, as parents, we start cleaning and let them do their thing, and then we miss that part.
Yeah. But
That's a
then-
culture that has to be developed instead of just
definitely
cooks. It's like, no, this is together.
Mhm.
We're going to clean together. We're going to do that. And that, if if it's an hour 3 times a week, you're going to have a conversation, a laugh, somebody did something that you'll be able to talk about 15, 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And most times, like, you remember when so-and-so did something when we were having them over. And it was just, it's a memory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so much better than, how's that? Oh, that looks so pretty. Say smile while you eat your thing. Like, put your phone down, parents. Don't take a picture of the child.
Look at the child.
Look at the child and enjoy what they're doing on the playground instead of having to show everybody your kid slid down the slide. Mm-hmm. Maybe they want to see you watch them slide down a slide without your phone in your hand. And that's what culture is like. Sometimes parents these days cannot get off their phone to see what their kids do. And then they do and they love it. They go, oh, that's so awesome. I'll watch it later. That's not culture of what we're trying. That is disrespect. I'm sorry, as a parent, that's disrespect. That's dishonor to your child that you're trying to teach respect and honor.
Right. You got to be the example.
If you're the one taking the videos and you're like, you're on phones all the time, you're on your tablets all the time, it's like, well, so are you. Mm-hmm. I understand we have to operate it, but when your child walks in the room and you take a picture of what they're doing instead of watching what they're doing, I'm sorry, you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings, but like your child is the most important thing. And I fail at this. I'm busy. I'm doing an email. I'm responding to a text. Or I've been working for 10 hours and need to veg out for a second. You're going to fail. You're going to do that.
Yes.
I just can't stand the culture that I see of put a kid on the phone. Mm-hmm. Oh, look what they're eating. Oh, look at my food. Yeah. Not, look who I had a date with. Now that works. That's fine. Look and do that.
Take the picture, then put it down and invest in the person.
Even if it's at home.
Yeah.
And we do fail at that sometimes too. Sometimes the girls are, they're so exhausted they rationally can't think.
No,
and we're like,
cope with life.
Okay, you know what? We need to eat so we can calm you down and get you to bed. So here's a phone for. So there's no right or wrong.
But I think that we have a unique perspective because we had children in...
Had Sesame Street and no tablets.
Right, in two completely different scenarios of life. Well, honestly, we've had children in three different decades.
No live streams.
3 different decades.
No smartphones when we started. I didn't even have a cell phone when we started.
He had to get his first cell phone after we got married so I could call him when it was time for us to go to the hospital, if he was at work.
Time to pop a baby out. And like, I need to be able to get you.
I had to finally look at him and say, you're not going to leave the house again until you got a cell phone, because you got to be able to get contacted. So, I mean, that's the difference of the life that we lived from our start of parenthood to where we are now. I mean, there was no YouTube, there was no smartphones, like he said, there's no tablet. So
dial-up internet.
And AOL. That was it. We had AOL, Juno, that's the things. So we've got a unique perspective that has shown us how different things have been and how quickly things have changed.
And how you, as a parent, as it changes, you can't be so dogmatic by being like, we're going to keep it the old way from 19.
Right.
Look, it was simpler.
You have to flow.
But your kids aren't on that. They're not on that train anymore. Like, you can put them on the track with you. Mm-hmm. But, like, eventually, like...
You're going to have to make them prepared. And I think that's one of the things...
You're going to have to grow, too, because you got to know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
What they're listening to.
For the longest, I was like, I don't really want to know how to do anything on a cell phone. I want to know how to call and take pictures, and that's all I care about. And then I realized as our kids got older, and you had to... I mean, this was a him thing. You need to know how to use this thing. You need to know how to use it. You got it. It does all these things. They're going to know how to use it. You have got to know how to use it.
You've got to know how to use it because you got to be able to know what they're doing.
You got to know how to prevent them from getting to the places they don't need to go. And a lot of that comes with maturity and saying, okay, well, you're not driving a car, so you don't need a cell phone yet. But honestly, with our girls, like, we have given them things in restaurants or in church just because we don't have childcare. All of our kids are together. So during long church services, they watch some things. So they have a lot more time on a screen. And we had to navigate how to take care of them, shepherd them well without always looking at what they're doing. So it was a learning curve for us. And like I said, I was stubborn to learn it. But now I realize the value in knowing and being prepared. So I feel like
I guess really to hone this conversation in, really the point of a home cooked meal around the family table is the child will understand, and honestly, it's from spouse to spouse too, that there was intentionality. There was effort made to put this meal in front of you, to have this time together. And honestly, it's culturally part of what we do. We are always making sure we thank the Lord for our food. I mean, it's something that we want to show our kids, and that's not something you have to do in that moment. We want to actually always show them an attitude of thankfulness, because we are incredibly blessed. We don't have to have all the things to say we're incredibly blessed. So I think it's the intentionality, and then the fact that you really can have those family meetings without a heavy family meeting diagnosis of a conversation, that it allows you to open a door for trust in your relationships and growth with your kids consistently, instead of like, well, this is a milestone, it's time to talk now. This is a milestone, it's time to talk now. It's just always being engaged in their life.
I think it's, no, I think we can have older adults, if they decide to, kids, they'd listen to this and they'll see your, direction and your angle. But sometimes
we might not need to give away too many of our tricks.
The dinner table sometimes might be, you see a pattern.
Yeah.
You see a behavior, and you really don't know how to address it, and or if there's a root cause. So then you use that as a springboard of just conversations to act like you want to know in their life, when really the biggest thing with children and with people that I say, you listen to what people don't say.
Yeah.
Or you listen to people what they said very flippantly. Most of the time, there's the core of anything.
Yeah.
And so you ask your kid a question, and you use that as programs. Like, hey, well, I know some cool music. Like, hey, where'd you learn about them? Like, they think you're involved in their life, which you are. But you're also just like, where did they hear that?
Yeah.
How did they get involved in it? So then you're going, oh, it allows you at the dinner table. Like, that's pretty cool. Maybe let's sit down and talk more about that later. Like, without raising their alarm to think you're digging to have that conversation. But if you hear things good or bad, it elects you to put that on the note of the shelf and say, oh, we need to address this. I heard what they said, and that was error. But instead of, in my world, it's always you immediately just call out someone's error. And I'm learning now, Bill Johnson says it like this: you can be right in the wrong spirit and 100% wrong. So I can be right about what we are talking about. But come at them, you people, not meaning to, with truth and maybe what's right. And then because it was so dogmatic and this is how we're doing it, it just then shuts them down and say, well, this is the way it is, without saying we do this because.
Yes.
And that's hard as a parent. Sometimes you really do have to say, we do this because. And that's teaching them being under authority and doing things that you don't want to do. People are like, well, God wouldn't let you do this. Like, have you read the Bible? Daniel and the, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if you want to call them that. But, they were on I'm reading today in Peter, and it's talking about, honor authority. And he's living under Nero.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you honor the people in authority. And it goes, wow, honor's a big deal. And that's a great place to teach it. You honor them to sit down. So you're not honoring an evil person. You're teaching them first to honor the family, to honor the meal, the time, and honor the family discussion. Or if anything, you look back, you don't want to talk, you don't want to do anything, you teach them, hey, you don't have to say anything, but if you're at the table, this is our place where we connect. Even if it's a joke, or even if it's watching Family Feud. Yeah, start somewhere.
But you see how important gathering around the table was even to Jesus.
Oh.
I mean, and the feasts were even, in those days, they worked their entire calendar
Celebrations.
around celebrations and feasting together. So it's a foundation that has been laid throughout time, that this is important. This is the crux at which everything else flows, this family core unit. And culturally, we can change the world with healthy family units. And I think that that's the piece that's missing. We're trying to individually change the world when it was never meant to be changed by a person. It was meant to be changed by groups of people united together.
In a family environment.
In
In neighborhoods. I think that's why maybe some neighborhoods were invented.
Yeah.
You want that, because where we grew up, and where I grew up on the roads, and it was so inundated with family, which is so abnormal to this day. Like, people don't even have a grid for when I say I grew up on the road with my last name, or my uncle's last name, and my cousin's last name.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I was like, I couldn't go miles in any direction and not be. So that, people, they just don't have this.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when you say family, honestly, most people just think people that live together in a home.
Yeah. It's not just that, though.
And family
That's where it
really,
starts, but that's not
blood
it.
is thicker than water. You know, like they say, you know, family is blood. You can be so close to people that your family is I mean, we are his children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
And we don't
choose
view that
family
like that. And so if
sometimes.
he likes to sit down at a dinner table, that's like your morning quiet time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's your family time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't do that yourself, you're never going to sit down at a table with food.
Right.
Because you're getting your family time to share with the family time.
Right.
And there's a huge correlation there.
There's huge correlation. I always
Of
say you
that
can't
time.
pour out from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And as parents, we so often, if we do show up at that
We're
table,
culturally full, but we're
yes,
not
what we're full of is not
spiritually
good.
and parentally from him full.
Right. Right. And I think that's the key piece of why I do the things that I do in Mama Whitten's kitchen. It's not just the recipes and the teaching. It's the pouring into the mothers. And if the mama puts that teenager in one of my classes because she says, you know, they are not really learning well from me, or I cannot teach them because I don't know how to cook, knowing that I'm loving on that child for that mama, knowing that they're going to have something to bond over, a conversation to have. But when you intentionally as a parent look for the places where you need to get all of yourself full and fed with wholeness and truth, and you're taking time to do that, the word has to be coming into you, and it has to be good, and it has to be lifting you up. Honest to goodness, like, if I don't have that time with the Lord in the morning, I can get asked a 5-year-old question and have to look at her with deer in headlights because I have to pause sometimes because I'm just not in the right brain space. Because 5-year-olds can ask you some stuff, and you're not prepared sometimes. And so if I have that time with the Lord, even if it's not like an hour long, sometimes I have 5 minutes and then I put on worship music and I sing in the Spirit while I get ready, and I just let Him love on me. And it's been a long time to get to that point, but we have to pour out from a full cup, and it has to be full of the right things, and that takes intentionality. And we've done that for years the wrong way. I mean, I've poured out, and you've had to come in and help me clean up the disaster because I've said yes to things that should have never been a yes. Or I've, pushed myself to make a meal, and then I have nothing left to give because the meal is so elaborate. You just have to know what you need as a mother, as a parent. Fill yourself up intentionally, and then that way you're able to guide the culture of your family from a full place. And like you said, communion with the Lord. That's your first time of day to really start that in yourself before you start it with your family around the table. And you, thank goodness, are such a leader in our home. There's times that we have that communion in the morning, and you're having your quiet time, and I'm having mine individually, and we end up teaching and talking and having just that ministry time for each other because we have decided that that's important for us, and we haven't always had that. So I find our parenting in our marriage has been completely flipped on its head in a fantastic way since we've been intentionally engaging in that time with each other and in the Lord. So I feel like the goal is the dinner table at the end of the day, but the start line is when you start intentionally with the Lord in the morning to get to that table, to get to that dinner time where you have something, or whatever it is, when you get to that family time and you have something to pour out worth valuable, worth value.
Yeah. I mean, I think this would be a really good time to kind of figure out maybe how to wrap this first one up. We've been rambling and I've enjoyed it. But how do we want to how do we want to do? I'll do the Taylor Welch and the Jake little conversation, and myself back was like, hey, are you good? Are we good?
We're good.
Do we want
Are
to
we
figure
good?
it? How do we want to go from here? How do we want to next? But like, what's the next? Let's figure out maybe the next step, what next episode, what the next one on.
I think that's a good place to jump.
But yeah, like for episode 1, again with the question, how important is a home cooked meal to the culture of a family? Is really kind of what we tried to address. I feel like we did it a little bit.
We addressed it, and then we danced around it and addressed it some more.
Yeah, we did. It was just fun, and I think it's a great place to just say what you're trying to develop with Mama Whitten's Kitchen is a culture of teaching, family, faith. But the point of it is to maybe help people to get to the peace you finally have found. And some people may get there in 10 years. Some people get there in 15. Some may get there in 22. And still realize, wow, we have so much to go and do. You're not going to do things right. You're going to fail, probably miserable, and think you probably did a great job. And then your kids one day come on and you're like, I didn't mean that. And so culture can look at our culture.
Man.
People's view of what you say and what you meant and be like, well, I didn't mean that. Well, that's what you said. So with culture, it's important to hear how you talk, what you do around the table, what you do in the kitchen, because that culture can good or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a toxic environment around the table that's full of gossip, slander, bad-mouthing people,
You got to keep it good.
you can still be around the family table, but when your family table then becomes a bash fest or a slam fest or
a breeding ground for
I mean, I'm going to tell you 100%. There's growing up, there's a lot of times like great loving Christian peoples and some conversations that you go as you got to be adult and it's like, wow, yeah, there's probably some hurt, but there's a lot of bad conversations you can have and gossip and you more damage around a dinner table than good. So you really have to take the time to say, what are you cultivating in your kitchen, at your table,
in your living room?
In your living room. The culture of a home-cooked meal can be good and bad.
It can be.
You might be the greatest mom in the world and sit down and everybody at the table is the greatest family in the world and all you do is talk about how bad your neighbor is. It's like, did you hear a neighbor? They over there doing it again. And like, so great. That's a terrible culture.
Yeah.
Because then you're like-minded around cursing people.
You're like-minded around negativity.
Yeah, exactly. So culture can be good and bad. We see the culture now. People will go, I think I'm a cat. And people are like, well, you think you're a cat today. And go, that's a mental disorder. That's not culture.
Talk about that.
Or like different people competing in different things. Like, I'm not going to get political the way I are, but like, you're either a male or a female. You can get all the cosmetic surgery you want. You can add things and have things cut off and does not stop
what you were created to be.
You are. So you can create a toxic culture.
Yeah, and I think that's the parent's responsibility to guide that.
Yeah, or to have outside help of a Mom Whitten's Kitchen. You're like, hey, when you're doing this, encourage your kids. Don't tell them they cut a bad piece of vegetable and it looks bad. Like, hey.
Yeah.
Or opportunity to say, hey, I noticed I watched the same video you did. You didn't follow along. Why didn't you follow along exactly what she said? Or you could be giving them the opportunity to do like you have. You have a recipe. This is what I love about that's not passed down anymore.
Yeah.
Everything now is on ebooks or whatever. But like growing up, you were able to go to an old cookbook.
And I have them.
And she's probably done video. I haven't watched all the videos. I must admit. I'm sorry. I just haven't.
You eat the food. You don't need to know how to make it.
Yeah. Anyway. But you need to know. See, I lost my train of thought. Look at that.
The recipes.
They were handed down. You can and be like, oh, I knew Aunt Frances. Or I knew my Aunt Tina. And they were in a book from back in the day. You have a printed from your grandmother. So by this, and what Mama Whitten's Kitchen is helping, I think, reestablish is some of your sweet little children and kids, adults, grown people that are in your class. Maybe they can tweak a recipe that they didn't like of yours. And add or subtract, write it down. And then 30 years, they can pass that along, and they can have a little plaque in their kitchen.
And give it to their kids.
Where you go, you pass down something I learned, made it our family's taste bud, because our families and other people across the world aren't the same taste.
That's right.
So you're creating a culture, even a subculture in a culture that you learned, but you made it yours.
Yeah.
Without being negative and,
Yeah.
you're just saying, oh, wow. And then now you're passing something on. And we are not in a generation where people pass much on. It's like, it's so quick, so easy, so good, but then it burns up because it's made like crap. And then you're like, oh, that was great for the amount of time. And I'm using tools from my grandfather from 50 years ago. I'm like, these things are still good.
Yeah.
What are you handing down that's going to last?
Yeah. We live in a now generation. We don't
Microwave.
live. Yeah. We don't live in some.
No, I love popcorn.
Well, and there's other ways to do popcorn.
Yeah, there's new ways to do popcorn now.
We
that
just
I'm like,
learned.
wow, we don't stay out of the microwave. Mimi, we're sorry that we still use the microwave some, but we just got life. Sometimes we just got
We'll get to the microwave season eventually.
I just don't have time for that.
I have to heat my coffee 3 extra times. I mean, let's be real.
Oh, yeah, if it wasn't for a microwave,
I'd never have hot coffee.
You would be a strictly iced coffee person.
Which I love my hot coffee. But we live in a season of where everything is instant. Everything should be mine now. And we think very little about longevity. We don't think about the next. Yeah. Very few people can anything. The preservation mode, well, even freezing. I mean, if you're going to keep something, you freeze it.
Yeah.
Well, that's 6 months, a year. That's not really thinking long term. So, like the art of canning, the art of cooking from scratch.
Let's be honest, we
are not saying that's what we do.
Yeah, we don't can.
I'm just saying.
We have canners.
We
They've
can.
been given to us.
And I have done it.
Yeah.
But I just don't do it right now.
Yeah, we just.
But the art of it,
God bless
the
you,
thought of it, I want to do it more.
No, we want it done.
I want to make our bread from scratch, but your sister does.
Exactly.
That.
Let's just. There's some things you just let your other members of your family do.
And that's part of being a family.
Bella bakes. Be like, I
Bella
don't want to make
bakes.
cookies.
Our sweet treats, Bella and Oliver make those. Anna makes my bread if I want something special.
Yeah.
But there are things that will last a lifetime. And that's the way that I look at each one of my families. I have students that are everything from 12 to 74. And a lot of times I have no clue when I start my live class who's going to be on that Zoom screen. And I love it so much. But I'm literally pouring into multiple generations. I'm watching them learn together. I'm watching mamas come in and learn with their daughters, things they're going to be able to do together. And I feel like for the first time in my life, what I'm doing is going to be tangible 50 years from now.
That's perfect. I mean, that's almost even a great way to start. Like, what's the heart of Mama Winch's kitchen? It's like, well, I didn't start this to get rich. We need money. Like, it would help. Subscribe. Like and subscribe. She has a package. Do it alone. Help us out a little bit.
Join Mama Whitten's Kitchen.
Join Mama Whitten's Kitchen. There's a plug for it.
$97 a month.
Whatever. I don't even
There's
know.
a yearly fee.
Yearly fee. Let's just, or you can break it down with money.
There was our commercial. We're not good at commercials.
We're not good. I am the commercial.
You're my commercial guy. But literally.
If you don't get on Mama Whitten's Kitchen, I'm going to hunt you down and gut you like as the Grinch would say.
But I think we've come to a point that we realize that the things that we are doing now can last into generations, and we want to use our time wisely. And what we're giving our time to now is those things that really will carry weight for generations to come. Yeah. So
I love it. I think this is a great first little get at it.
I think so too. Episode 1 and done.
Episode 1, and I guess we're just gonna go get some Taco Bell.
We're gonna go get some lunch. Not Taco Bell.
Exactly. No, we're not gonna do that.
Come see us next time.
Come see us at Mama Whitten's Kitchen.
Happy cooking, y'all.
Yeah,
I have to do that for Hannah. Happy cooking, y'all.
Happy cooking, y'all.
See you next time.